Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning in to another of my Warhammer 2 tournament videos. This is the final round of battles in round 1, and then we will be moving on to round 2 within the next week. We've seen some great clashes and varying strategies. Some have worked, and some have not. But today we will be looking at the battles between CELEBRIMBOR and STARKILLER. Now, because this tournament has taken me so long to get out to you guys, I will say ahead of time that the third battle does unfortunately end in a desync, and that is just because the patch that these battles were fought on is unfortunately no longer available on the Steam Workshop, so I've had to use the next updated patch. So most of what you see is correct, but unfortunately it seems that third battle, it does end in a desync. But the overall end result is correct, and that's all that matters. We will see who moves on to round 2. Alright, let's go ahead and get to the final battles of round 1. Alright guys, welcome to the first battle between CELEBRIMBOR and STARKILLER. And CELEBRIMBOR was the one who sent in the replays, so we'll be seeing them from his point of view. And we'll start with CELEBRIMBOR's army here. He is playing as Takwa, one of the Lizardmen factions. And in the front lines here, he has 2 units of Saurus Spears with shields, and he has a third one in reserve. His main line is Saurus Warriors with shields, and he has 5 of them here. We've also got some Temple Guards here at the back, a Skink Priest of Beasts. We have some Chameleon Skinks, 2 units of them, and then we have his General, Tic-Tac-Toe. And then in the trees here we have a Feral Cold Ones, a very good cavalry unit with some chevrons. And then we also have the Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bolas, I think is how you pronounce it. So a pretty well-rounded force here with some good infantry in the front lines and some cavalry in the trees. Looking at STARKILLER's army, it's very small and mostly consists of monstrous infantry. Over here he's got 2 of the Skeleton Archer Chariots, and then he has a Tomb Scorpion, 2 units of Ushabti. We have a Lich Priest of Death. We have 2 Kemrian War Sphinxes, a Screaming Skull Catapult, and then we have Arkin the Black on his chariot. So altogether, these monstrous units here, we've probably got like 7 or 8 units on the battlefield. Well, actually, the Ushabti have 16 for each of them, but definitely quality over here versus quantity, the age-old question. Let's go ahead and see who prevails. Alright guys, welcome to the battlefield, and it looks like CELEBRIMBOR is forming up his forces down the slopes, not really even trying to take the hill in the center at all. I don't know if he is worried about the very large creatures that Arkin the Black has brought to the battlefield, but I still think he probably could have made it to the top of the hill before the Tomb Kings had. Now we do have some early harassment here of those Pterodon Riders throwing their Fire Leech Bolas, I think is how you pronounce it, on top of the Skeleton Chariots, but little to no damage. It seems like the Skeleton Chariots escaped that pretty much unscathed, and not so much for those Pterodon Riders. They're actually taking quite a bit of damage to those Skeleton Chariots, so it looks like CELEBRIMBOR is trying to pull them away. However, we've got what do we have firing over here? Oh, the Kemrian War Sphinx, I believe, has yeah, some archers on its back, so it can fire at any units that move within its range. Now, the Screaming Skull Catapult, that's a very good target for those Pterodon Riders to go for, so hopefully CELEBRIMBOR can keep them alive. Now, he did sneak his Feral Cold Ones into the trees. I think that Pterodon Rider was an excellent distraction. STARKILLER mostly focusing all of his units here in the center and still actually going after those Pterodon Riders. But now it looks like CELEBRIMBOR is starting to move his infantry forwards, and if he can tie up those Skeleton Chariots, he should be able to destroy them in melee. I don't think that they're very good in melee. There are chariots that are good in melee, but I don't think the Archer Chariots are. I think they die pretty quickly. We've got the Tomb Scorpion coming in over here, but we've also got the Feral Cold Ones moving in. Let's see this charge here. Huge single entities on this battlefield here. Scorpion should be able to deal with 1 unit at a time, but it looks like they have a spear unit in here, Tic-Tac-Toes in here, and maybe another unit of Saurus Spears, but things are really kicking off here. The Ushabti are challenging the Saurus Warriors with shields. Down here as well, we have more Ushabti, and the Khemrian War Sphinx is just absolutely surrounded at this point. We've also got some spells being casted here. I don't know if this is a spell from Ark in the Black. It looks like it is. I think that is the Purple Sun. And the Khemrian War Sphinx there. Oh, I love the breath attack that it's got going on. Look at the damage from that, too. Well done to Starkiller. Really cutting down a lot of these Saurus warriors and helping that Khemrian War Sphinx out. Now, how is Tic-Tac-Toe doing over here? Yeah, he's almost destroyed that Tomb Scorpion. It should crumble quite quickly. We've got the Feral Cold Ones challenging, looks like some skeleton warriors that the Lich Priest has actually spawned on in. I'm surprised they're taking that much damage to skeleton warriors, though. That's very interesting. This Tomb Scorpion is about to crumble, though. I'm seeing the Ushabti over here. They have critical binding as well, so that is not good. I think the quantity of these lizards is just too much for the Tomb Kings to handle. And where is Ark in the Black here? We've got the Khemrian War Sphinx up here. Is he up here with the Screaming Skull Catapult? The Screaming Skull Catapult has been destroyed by a unit of Saurus Warriors, so that is very unfortunate for Starkiller and his Tomb Kings. Okay, we do have Ark in the Black, and surprisingly, he's not on his chariot. I think I said in the army comps that he was, so apologies for that. I think they did destroy those Feral Cold Ones, though. Yeah, okay, they have returned from routing, though, which is good. But I'm just not liking the chances for the Tomb Kings. Look at this, it's 838 versus 50. But then again, these Khemrian War Sphinxes are extremely powerful. And it looks like the Ushabti have managed to stabilize their binding a bit there. A couple of them are starting to fall as they get taken down from all sides. Now we've got the skeleton chariots moving in as well, and huge charges there. Well done, using the hill to their advantage, pretty much just driving all of the lizardmen away. Look at them scurry. They almost remind me of Skaven. Yeah, the skinks are out of there. So well done. Excellent use by Starkiller there with those skeleton archer chariots. That was huge. And that might have turned it into his favor. 697, though, to 33. I don't know. Yeah, once the Saurus Warrior over... Okay, the Khemrian War Sphinx is moving on in. Come on, boys. We've got to bring those Khemrian War Sphinxes down. Looks like the spears are following suit, trying to lock it into melee. The Ushabti, yep, the Ushabti are just about out of it now. We've got the skeleton archer chariots trying to pull out of the fray. And we've got, looks like Tic-Tac-Toe moving in against the Lich Priest. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that. Try and get a good angle there. Looks like the Feral Cold Ones have returned from routing as well, so they are aiding Tic-Tac-Toe in their endeavor against this Lich Priest. I can't imagine that 1v1 he's going to do very well here. Is he getting... Yeah, he's getting crushed. Critical binding, damage sustained, and he's probably beginning to crumble at this point. We do have Ark in the Black moving on in, though. Starkiller has kind of gathered both of his Khemrian War Sphinxes over here to deal with the enemy Saurus warriors with spears and shields. And it looks like the Skink Priest has returned from routing. It was getting crushed there earlier on. There we go, CELEBRIMBOR moving in. Pretty much a fresh unit of Saurus warriors with shields, but having both of those Khemrian War Sphinxes together, that is going to be... Oh, yeah, I'm not liking that. Two monstrous creatures versus one unit. I think these monstrous creatures are going to clean them up. However, if Ark in the Black is defeated by Tic-Tac-Toe, then I think that they will get some critical binding, because of course the Tomb Kings, they don't really have a morale per se. It's more binding. Their binding is actually quite weak at the moment. And yes, okay, the Lich Priest, he is fading, so he should die relatively soon. But Ark in the Black is in here fighting. Got some Saurus warriors with, Saurus spears with shields. And we also have the Feral Cold Ones in there as well. Come on, Ark in the Black. Hold! Hold before your men crumble. Oh, Tic-Tac-Toe is quite a cool legendary lord. There we go, throwing Ark in the Black to the ground there. Is he getting hit pretty hard? I can't really tell. Yeah, he's taking quite a bit of damage. His binding is stable, though, which is excellent. Over here, how are things going? The Pterodon Riders have actually moved on in. Khemrian War Sphinxes are just running amok, causing a lot of damage. Those Saurus Spears with shields finally moving on in. And one of the Khemrian War Sphinxes actually is starting to waver, and it is crumbling. That is not good for Starkiller. It's such an even battle up until this point. But if he loses these two monstrous units, he pretty much has nothing left to fall back on. I think the Skeleton Archer Chariots have been eliminated. Huge hit there, though. Oh, but it's just surrounded. I think there's just too many of them. It's going to become exhausted from fighting for so long. I'm actually surprised that these Pterodon Riders are still in the fight. Look at the chaos here. Tomb Kings are so epic to watch. Yeah, there we go. You can see it is definitely crumbling. And is that it defeated? Oh, no! That is one of them. Oh, that's both of them. And there we go. A Pyrrhic victory for Celebrimbor. So let's go ahead and get to round 2. Alright guys, welcome to the second battle between Celebrimbor and Starkiller. Celebrimbor is playing as Middenland, and in the front lines here he has 5 units of Halberdiers, he has 3 units of Great Swords, 2 units of Crossbowmen, we have Boris Todbringer, and a Bright Wizard here behind this Halberdier unit. And in the trees, we've got 2 units of Demigryph Knights on the left-hand side and an Outrider with Grenade Launcher on the right-hand side. For Starkiller, he's brought more units to the battlefield this time, which is good to see. Very powerful greenskin front line here. We've got, on his left-hand side, the Broken Tusks Mob, which is a regiment of renowned Orc Boy Biggins. For his general, we have Azag the Slaughterer. He has an Arachnarok Spider on his right, and then we have 2 units of Black Orcs and 5 units of Orc Biggins. So let's see if the Middenland lines can hold up to these Orcs. Let's go ahead and get to the battle. Alright guys, welcome to the battlefield, and as you can see, Celebrimbor once again is not interested in taking that hilltop. He's actually deployed farther back than he did last time, so even if Starkiller takes this hill, he's not really going to be able to use it to his advantage, because he's going to have to leave his superior terrain advantage to challenge Middenland on the open plains. And it's not like Starkiller can really benefit from the hill advantage anyways, because he has no missile superiority, he has no artillery or archers of any kind. So if anything, he's going to be the one who is going to be forced to charge the Middenland lines, especially because Celebrimbor has some crossbowmen, so he will be able to bait out the greenskins in their defense atop that hill. I don't think the Broken Tusk Mob has noticed as well, but those Outriders with grenade launchers are also a missile unit, so they'll be able to bait the cavalry as well. But over here, it looks like we have the Arachnarok Spider challenging these Demigryph Knights, and Azag the Slaughterer has actually put some spells down upon them, and they are melting very, very quickly. This is not what you want to see early on from an expensive unit of Demigryph Knights. I think there's something like 14 or 1500 gold. They're very, very expensive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Demigryph Knights are one of the most expensive cavalry units that the Empire can bring. I think the Demigryph Knights with halberds are the only one that is more expensive. And look at that, getting 0 kills too. These single entities took a little to no damage from those Demigryphs. That is very unfortunate to see. Everything else seems to be quite calm though. Celebrimbor has shown his hand on the left-hand side, bringing his Demigryph Knights in. But Azag the Slaughterer is not letting these Demigryph Knights return. I think they have... Nope, they've just routed, so they haven't shattered completely. but he's following them right off the edge of the map to ensure that they do not return. Celebrimbor showing his hand on his right as well, moving those Outriders with grenade launchers in, and yes, good. I hope he does target the Orc Boar Boy Biggins, because I think they're not going to be as fast as the Outriders. So he should be able to move in. Those grenades are going to do a lot of damage to those Orc Boar Boy Biggins as well. Yeah, huge hits there. Taking down a lot of that unit's health and then just retreating. I don't know if Starkiller wants to continue pushing forwards, though. He's going to have to move his entire front line if he plans to push his cavalry forwards. No sense in throwing them in all alone. The Halberdiers will just absolutely destroy this cavalry unit. But there we go. The Arachnarok Spider and Azag the Slaughterer returning after driving those Demigryph Knights off the edge of the map. I think that was a very good idea to make sure he doesn't have to worry about them later on. But he's being too aggressive. Okay, yeah, pulled him away. Just, yeah, don't try and catch them. You were not catching them. Oh, this is unfortunate, though. Yeah, that's going to cause a lot more damage to this probably very expensive unit of cavalry. And surprisingly, Celebrimbor is actually going to disengage from that. I might have actually followed that up and kept harassing it. It's not like Starkiller's mainline infantry is moving forwards. He's kind of just sitting behind the hill here. I'm not exactly sure why he's doing that, too. It's not like he has any... Well, it's not like Celebrimbor has any artillery that would just be bombarding him to bits. I mean, everyone does fear the Empire Hellstorm rocket battery, but there are none of those on the battlefield today. Outriders with grenade launchers are going to probably trigger a response here from Starkiller, though, if he starts to hit the Orc Biggin line. Starkiller, as I said, will have no choice but to move forwards. We do have the Arachnarok very sneakily pushing into the trees. I don't know if Celebrimbor notices this, but surely he has noticed that there was an Arachnarok Spider on the battlefield, and now there is not. I don't know if this thing can hide, though. I don't know if monsters can hide in trees. But he is very sneakily skirting around Celebrimbor's lines. And it looks like we do have some movement. Now we've got the Orc Biggins coming down the slopes. Let's get a cinematic shot of this. Just because it's been quite a slow battle so far, we can actually have a bit of time to enjoy all of the units moving down the slopes here. Look at these heavily armored orcs. Yes, yes, yes. And is he moving those black orcs in as well? Yes, he is. Perfect. Yeah, you want to make sure that you attack with everything you have. Don't do it in waves. Oh, and look at this. That is a very bold move. He's actually got Azag the Slaughterer in here. Another Purple Sun, I believe that is, being casted down. But that one wasn't as effective as Arkin's last turn. Or, sorry, last battle. But yeah, Azag has taken on a lot of damage there. We've got the Halberdiers moving forwards here. Let's get a cinematic charge here. Go, go, go! Yes! Excellent job. Those Halberdiers are not going to hold for very long, especially over here against these Black Orcs. The Black Orcs are going to absolutely shred this unit. Yeah, Celebrimbor's going to have to do something about that. Where's the Demigryphs? Yeah, get those Demigryph Knights around and charge into the backs of those Black Orcs. We've also got Boris Todbringer over here. I think... Yeah, he's not going to... I don't think he's going to be able to hold off this Arachnarok for long, but he can at least delay it from getting into melee with his Halberdiers, who are already being stretched to the limit. Azag the Slaughterer causing some major troubles here in the center. Oh no, and we've got the crossbows undefended. Yep, there we go. The Orc Boar Boy Biggins getting stuck into those crossbows. Thankfully, there is another one over here still trying to target that general. And we did get a good solid charge with those Demigryph Knights. We've also got the Outriders with grenade launchers trying to focus the Arachnarok, but against single entity units, I don't think it's going to be very effective. I would rather see it used over here against the other fresh unit of Black Orcs. I think we are going to have the Demigryph Knights charging on down here. No, where is he going? He's actually going over here for the Biggins. Okay, fair enough. You can actually take a look at that, see how effective this Demigryph charge is. Pretty darn effective. Wow. If only he had a second unit of Demigryphs on the battlefield. Over here, though, Celebrimbor's right flank is looking very precarious, and his center is starting to waver as well. Looks like the Outriders are being chased away by Azek the Slaughterer, even though he is extremely weak. Boris Todbringer is actually breaking. This is not good. It looks like it's going to be a victory for Starkiller. Although Celebrimbor still does outnumber him man count-wise, but look at all of the breaking here. Halberdier's breaking. We've got the Great Swords breaking. The Demigryph Knights no longer have the ability to hammer an anvil, because after this unit of Halberdier's... Oh, actually, he might be able to break this unit, though. Oh, he disengaged. Why didn't he charge in? Oh, they stabilized. That is unfortunate. This Black Orc unit is still quite healthy. It's got 71 remaining. Where is the other one? It's right here with 27. The Great Swords in there are holding their own. Very impressed with them. The Arachnorok Spider is so healthy at this point. Oh, no. That is not good. Yet balance power starting to slip away from Celebrimbor. And the Black Orcs plus the Arachnorok Spider means death for Middenland. This is not good. Or it is good depending on who you're rooting for. It could be good if you're rooting for Starkiller, not good if you are rooting for Celebrimbor. It looks like Starkiller is going to actually force a third battle here, which is fantastic. Well done. And what do we got fighting over here? It looks like we got some Great Swords fighting the Orc Biggins. I still think the Biggins... maybe the Great Swords one-on-one would be able to defeat Orc Biggins? I'm not exactly sure. Because I know the Great Swords are kind of the best... I think they're the best Empire infantry unit that you can get, are they not? I'm pretty sure they are. I mean, one-on-one Great Swords versus Black Orcs, probably not a good mix. But yeah, actually, it looks like the Great Swords are doing really well here, destroying those Orc Biggins. So, well done. Demigryph Knights are trying to escape the Orc Biggins over here. And what do we have going on here? Boris Todbringer has returned from routing. We have the Outriders with grenade launchers still trying to tear down that Arachnorok. But look at the balance of power there, and I think that is going to be a defeat and a victory for Starkiller. So well done, man, on forcing a third battle there. That is excellent. Let's go ahead and get to the final battle. Alright guys, welcome to the third and final battle between Celebrimbor and Starkiller. Celebrimbor is playing as the Barrow Legion, and in the front lines he has 5 units of Cairn Race. Then he has 3 units of Skeleton Spearmen, 2 on the flanks and 1 held in reserve. He also has 2 units of Grave Guard on the flanks. He has some Vargeists, a Necromancer. We have just a basic Vampire Lord for his general, and a Black Coach. For Starkiller, he is playing as the Warriors of Chaos. We have Kolek Sun Eater here with 2 units of Chaos Armored Trolls. We have 2 Chaos Feral Manticores here, way held in reserve, way at the back. We have a unit of Chaos Knights with the Lances, a unit of Dragon Ogres, and for his front line, he has 2 units of Chaos Warriors and 2 units of Chaos Warriors with Halberds. So again, going very quantity-focused, whereas Celebrimbor going very quality-focused. So we'll see how that turns out in the battle to come. Alright guys, welcome to the battlefield, and we're going to be taking a look from Starkiller's perspective. We started on Celebrimbor's side in Battle 1 and 2, so I thought we would kind of look at it from Starkiller's side in Battle 3. We've got those Feral Manticores sailing up over the hilltop, but those Vargeists are closing on in. We also have the Vampire Lord, which is on a dragon, getting a crack shot on that Chaos Feral Manticore, and this is not good. The Vargeists are surrounding this Chaos Feral Manticore, and look at the damage that it's taking already. But Celebrimbor, again, being very passive, not taking the hill, but this time we also... Oh, sorry, hold on, hold that thought. We have the Chaos Knights charging in over here against the Black Coach. Celebrimbor might not notice this. Looks like the Graveguard getting hit a little bit as well. I would have definitely charged straight into that Graveguard instead of the Black Coat. Single entity units, not a lot of damage, but those Chaos Knights would have destroyed that Sword Infantry. Look at that, though. Yep, Chaos Feral Manticore already pulling back, and the Vargeist are safe to follow because no missile units for Starkiller on the battlefield. We do have Kholek Sun Eater, though, probably my favorite lord in all of Warhammer 1 and 2. I loved playing as him in multiplayer battles back in the day. I have quite a few battles on my channel playing as the great Kholek Sun Eater. The other Chaos Feral Manticore destroyed by that Vampire Lord, though. Let's watch this, though. I'm not going to miss a chance to see Kholek Sun Eater taking on some Cairn Wraiths. They are completely surrounding him, though. We have the Chaos Armored Trolls moving on in to support their Lord. The Graveguard is moving in to support the Skeleton Spearmen here. These poor Skeleton Spearmen, look how tiny and lightly armored they are compared to these massive Chaos Warriors. What is that? More spells being cast down here. Kholek Sun Eater doing work against these Cairn Wraiths. Look at their binding. It is already weak at this point. Yeah, Chaos Armored Trolls, pretty trash morale. They are already retreating, which is pretty disgusting to see. Oh, Chaos Trolls are so bad. The Feral Manticore did return, though. Black Coach is heading over there. I don't know if it's going to put some spells down on top, but a huge charge by those Vargeists into the back of these Chaos Warriors with halberds. A very expensive unit getting hit from the back. And unfortunately, Starkiller again going for the quality focus. He really doesn't have men to throw away at this point. Kholek Sun Eater still taking on the might of Celebrimbor's army. I love the Cairn Wraiths, how they just get thrown back, like they're so ethereal, and then they just get up and float their way back into melee. Look at that! That's amazing! Look at that, they get up and they're just like, and they just go back into melee. That is awesome. Very, very cool, but enough slow-mo shots and cinematic shots. Let's take a look at what is going on. So I'm seeing, unfortunately, that the Chaos Warriors are just completely surrounded. We've got 2 units of Cairn Wraiths and a Graveguard taking on this Chaos Warrior with halberds. And although it is a very strong unit, it just can't take those amount of numbers. And there it goes. It is starting to break. The Chaos Knights with lances almost broke the Skeleton Spearmen. Unfortunately for Starkiller, they did rally, though. Those Vargeists still on the battlefield as well. Over here, things are looking a little bit better for Starkiller. He's got the Dragon Ogres getting a good charge in the back of the Graveguard. You can see that they are crumbling. Kholek Sun Eater is doing his best to hold out in the face of all of these Cairn Wraiths. Looks like a good charge from those Black Knights. We've got the Necromancer moved in, but the Skeleton Spearmen are crumbling due to the charge of those Chaos Knights. That's fantastic to see. And the Vampire Lord, though, he is just holding. He's starting to do a bit of damage there to Kholek Sun Eater. That is actually a sick shot. I'm sorry, but I need to see, if they can actually duel it out to massive lords. Come on, fight. Fight. They're all tied up fighting each other's armies. There we go. More Graveguards, moving on in to just weaken Kholek Sun Eater. He is a boss, but he isn't invincible. You can see he is starting to take quite a bit of damage. If we look at the man count here, 672 to 250. So more than doubles, Celebrimbor, that is, more than doubles the amount of units on the battlefield to Starkiller. Looks like we've got the Chaos Trolls that were armored. They did return from routing, but they are routing again. Unfortunately, some Chaos Warriors routing from the battlefield. Over here, Celebrimbor is cleaning up those Chaos Knights. They just weren't able to break those Skeleton Spearmen in time before reinforcements arrived. More Chaos Warriors are breaking as well. That is bad to see, and look at the balance of power tipping quite heavily now into Celebrimbor's favor. Those Dragon Ogres holding strong next to their Lord, Kholek Sun Eater. we've got a spell being casted down there. If it does hit, it will miss. Oh, that is unfortunate. That would have been a good shot on those Cairn Wraiths. But there we go. The Dragon Ogres are retreating in the face of the Vampire Lord on his dragon. And a lot of Cairn Wraiths still in the fight. Oh, it looks like they are returning. We've got some Armored Trolls returning here. And what do we have over here? Chaos Warriors have returned as well, so that is excellent to see. But I don't think they're going to be able to defeat this Vampire Lord. Look on the hilltop there, though. Kolek Sun Eater trying to destroy these reinforcements that are moving on in. Now he's going after the Black Coach, I believe. But Kolek just doesn't know which way to turn. There's too many units on the battlefield. All the Chaos units are starting to break again. Those stupid trolls. Such cowards. They charge on in and then immediately break. And unfortunately, that actually causes other nearby units that are wavering to have a higher chance of routing themselves. And there we go. That is the end. It was a close defeat, but I believe... sorry, this is not accurate. It was a victory for the Barrel Legion. As I said in the intro, we did have a desync, and interestingly, the last time I saw this, it said victory. So yeah, obviously a desync, but Celebrimbor was the one to move forwards into round 2. So thank you so much, Starkiller, for participating, but well done to Celebrimbor for moving on to the next round. And that is it for round 1, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. And as always, I will see you in the next one.